Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Crypto Vision here, back again with another crypto market update. Today's video, we're going to be checking out DEGEN. So all my DEGENs, hit that like button, subscribe for more, leave a comment where you're tuning in from. I really appreciate it. So we got DEGEN here on the weekly. Besides that wick, nothing's really changed, right? We had a wick down to that 0.0009. I will tell you, DGen is growing in my portfolio. I probably bought more than I should have for a meme coin, but I didn't. My exchange that I used didn't have XLM at the levels that I would have. I mean, I would have bought at the levels that some exchanges had, but um, I bought Chainlink, Jasmy, and DGen. I probably bought the most, probably DGen or Jasmy. Bought a good amount of Chainlink. But overall, nonetheless, right? A DGen still looking good. It looks the same, right? We're still oscillating down, right? And overall, right? I think we're in a little A B C. That's what I believe we're in. We're in A B C. Um, and we're just waiting. We're waiting for the end of the month kind of range. A lot of the cryptos, and not just cryptos, stablecoin dominance has a decision to make by the end of the month. Bitcoin dominance has a decision to make by the end of the month. Bitcoin or stablecoin plus Bitcoin dominance has a decision to make. So make sure to stay tuned for that. It's going to be towards the end of the video. That's key information. Especially because what happened after Friday is TA isn't irrelevant, right? I see a lot of people saying TA is worthless, everything on crypto is a scam. There's some partial truth to that. Yes, crypto on Friday that was scam. That was total scam. That was total market manipulation. Total liquidation event, liquidation hunt, and then exchanges freezing at the lows where you couldn't buy. Yeah, I'm coming from someone who came from traditional markets. This is not something that I've ever seen, and I'll call it like I see it. I'm not gonna blame the TARs for it. That's just what these market makers, these ghouls, these people that have no souls, right? They're a bunch of gingers. That's what they used, right? I mean, I'm being serious, right? I don't know if these people they could be from a different planet. No, I'm just playing. But they have no remorse of taking your money. So if you use Binance, Bybit, Blowfin, or these other small, tiny, or not small, tiny, but these exchanges that are shady, get out of there. Get out of there. Exchange it for something else, and just I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice, but I personally don't use any of those. I use Robinhood and I use Coinbase. That's it. Right, Coinbase was giving me some trouble. Robinhood just didn't have the most drastic prices, right? Like Binance, but I digress. So on the Fu Manchu, this is the lowest we've been. I mean, not even close. This is the lowest we've been since April. We're lower now than we were in April, and we went up almost 400%. All right, almost 400% from the lows. Do I count that low? I don't even want to count that low. If I'm being honest, I'm going to count it from here. I'm going to count it from here. Straight up. I'm not even going to count that. So, I mean, look at that. It was at 385%. That's at about that 0.9. I think it was 385. Am I tripping? There's no way. 374. Haha, I knew I was tripping. 374. Right. I mean, let's go 375. Right. You're getting up through here somewhere. Right, up through there. And that's one of the targets I have marked up. Okay. The RSI, you haven't been lower in your entire existence on the RSI, right? I mean, you're just waiting. You're just begging for a catalyst. Okay, let's go out to the daily now. The daily got super oversold, right? Typically, I mean, yeah, you bounce, but you do have a green dot. You bounce. You have bullish divergence. This is the lowest you've been on the Fu Manchu. All these indicators are great indicators for reliable stocks, for assets like gold or silver or it's commodity, whatever. But when you're dealing with crypto, yeah, they're great. They work sometimes, most 51% of the times, but 49% of the times they don't work, and they're used by market makers to trick you. All right, trick me. So market sentiment right now, fearful, right? I went over the fear and greed index with liquidation heat map. We're at a 40. We were just in fear last week. Um, we were in fear last week. I mean, you're in fear before rate cuts, with monetary easing policies, right? With a new Fed chair coming in, um, right? And it's, you have a tweet about some tariffs, and then everything goes to shit, right? You liquidation heat map. You got more shorts than longs. That's not. That's I'm telling you, that's not how um, swings to the downside go. Swings to the downside go where you have 10 times more longs, when everybody is long, where there's no shorts, where shorts are getting decimated, right? Where it's, let's just use this, but let's say it's this, but for weeks, right? This is like the weekly chart, right? This is the weekly chart. The shorts are just getting decimated, decimated, decimated. Then you get piled up longs so far off the mean. That's when you get, and you get that on the weekly chart, when it's just week after week after week of bullish news, right? Of bullish news. Imagine this was all bullish, right? Like this, like you're doing this, right? You're just doing weeks. You're just going up for weeks. You're going up for weeks, for weeks, for weeks, right? That's something like this. This is when you get the start of a bear market, because you just have so much. It's just continuous upside, and you're just the stock or the whatever the asset needs to breathe. Um, and to be honest, this has kind of been a bear market. If I'm being, you want me to be honest, we've been like this, that, like that. I mean, that's a bear market. If you bought up here, you bought at the top of euphoria. You've been going down for a year. You've been going down for a year, right? You've been going down for a year, but we're looking for a retracement. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a retracement, right? That's why I'm loading up down here. That's why I'm loading up all down through here. All right, looking for a retracement. That's like a 10x from here. What is that? From here, that's a 13x, 14x. That's why we're loading up down here. That's why we're bullish down here, because we're at the lows. I'm not going to be bearish at the lows, right? I'm not going to be bearish at the lows. So I digress. So we've been oscillating down, right? You got like your A, B, C, right? You got your A, you got your B, and you got your C. You got a three-wave move. You got a beautiful three-wave move. Now what do? We got to get up. Got to get up. We looked at the daily. Let's look at the 4-hour. 4-hour actually, I mean, dude, Jasmine for a meme coin is doing fairly well. It's doing fairly well. DEGEN. DEGEN for a meme. I mean, look, that thing looks beautiful. That looks beautiful. That looks gorgeous, right? You got like a little three-wave move in here. Ready to go. Looks beautiful. Absolutely stunning, right? Let's check out some levels, right? I got rid of most levels just because of what happened, right? You got to get rid of most levels. I'll probably get rid of this area of interest or just move it around. Let's see here. Trend-based extension. I'm a Frenchman on a Monday. All right, we hit that 382. Not ideal to stop at. Not ideal to stop at, but before we even get started, we're stopping. I'm gonna move this down through here. Bingo, right there. That's the first one you need to get above. Okay, and then this next one you need to get above. You know what? Let's the 618. I'll mark out the 618. Might as well. Mark out the 618. Right. Mark out the 618. Make sure these are just on the hourly. Yeah, let's keep this on the hourly. Keep the daily free from a bunch of stuff. Okay, boom. We got those two. So far, this 1, 2, this 3, we're looking to get up to that 3-6 level. I mean, all the way up to here. I mean, DEGEN moves. If you know DEGEN moves and grooves, right? Looking to possibly get up to maybe up through here and then come down, something like that. Come back down and test and then go get a 5th, right? And then come down, right? 5 waves. You need 5 waves up. You get 5 waves up. It doesn't have to be that big, right? It doesn't have to be that big, but you got like a 1, 2, 3. This doesn't look like a completed third wave. This just looks like you're just kind of going, you're kind of just getting prepared to go up for the next leg of your third wave. You know, that's the target of your third wave right there, 3622. Okay, 3622, 003622. Pardon me. You know, your October open is right at that other resistance, 886, 786. So what you need is you need to get out of here with velocity. Right, get out with velocity. Right, don't come and trickle up to the 886. Then you're gonna come down. You're gonna, you know, it's just a smaller wave overall. Then maybe you get up to the fifth on your 1618 on your fifth. But so yeah, so that looks good. I do want to take some levels to see if anything aligns with where we're at. I mean, this is just wild right here. It's wild. Yeah, we're stopping right at that 382. We're right at that 382. So both the 382s. You know, if we are going to go lower, I don't think we're going to retrace, right? I've been saying this a little bit. I don't think we're going to retrace all the way. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, this flash crash was for leverage. A slow bleed is for spot." I don't know about you, but this isn't going to make me sell. Doing something like that isn't going to make me sell. It's just giving structure, right? People are just, they're looking for a reason for the price to go lower. I'm not just talking about DEGEN. I'm talking about assets so they can buy more because they didn't get to buy any. Right? A lot of people are pissed because, you know, when you got down here, the exchanges froze up. There was error messages, right? You couldn't get any funds to be processed, and so they're pissed. People are pissed right now. They got stopped out and they can't even get a low entry, so they're begging for it to go lower. And when you're begging for something, it usually is the opposite, right? A lot of people are begging for lower. Longs, you know, bulls want lower, bears want lower, everyone wants lower. Max Pain is up now. Max Pain is up because what happens is now, so when Max Pain is up, first of all, who gets the most screwed? Bears or bulls? If you answered bears, you're incorrect. Bulls get most screwed because here's the thing. Most of the bulls got stopped out down through here. And so what they have to do is they're going to have to buy. They're going to have to buy, right? They're going to be buying with bears, but they were in for lower with leverage or whatever, or they sold their spot at the lows, right? They came down here and they sold. Right, and then it shot up and they couldn't get it, right? So bulls are going to be the most in pain because they're going to miss out. I don't know if you know this, but missing out on an up move is more painful than dealing with a down move. I'll just tell you straight up. I've been there. I've done it. I've been in big moves to the upside. I've been in big moves to the downside. I've missed a big move to the upside, and it is more painful than a big move to the downside. Right, it is way more painful because the idea that you were right to just second guess yourself before the reversal crushes you, right? And I'm just telling you this from experience, right? I'm telling you this from experience. Make sure that what you buy you have conviction in, because when it starts to go to the downside, I don't want people selling. And then when it comes back up, they buy. I just hope that is clear, right? Because we can come back down. We can come back down like right here. Right? Come back down here. We can come back down to 252. We can come all the way down to here. Right? We can come all the way down to there. I mean, that's fine. We can come all the way down to here. We can. That's fine. It's not going to change the fact that we're waiting for this move. It's not going to change the fact that that move is coming. Doesn't matter. It's not a matter of if, but when. And that's why I have this channel. It's not a matter of if, but when. And these are some of the reasons why. So that's DEGEN right there in a nutshell. Right? You got some prices to the downside. You got prices to the upside. Right? We're in between right here. So we're looking for this. Or we're looking for this. Okay. Once we start clearing out these levels, right? Once we start clearing out these levels, then we got more to the upside. Oh, that's on the daily. The green's on the daily. We got some green levels to the daily. What? Am I tripping or is it the weekly? It's the weekly. I'll move these to the daily. I'll move all this stuff to the daily. I'll move it over. But we do, before we even think about that, we got to get above these levels. Right? We got to get above these. Especially because you got the 200. I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming, like I was talking about Jasmine and XLM. You come up right to here. Then you start your fourth wave move to the downside. Something like that. Something like that. And then you kind of trickle and then go. Something like that. So yeah, so that's what I got for DEGEN in terms of the stablecoin dominance. All right, you're kind of fooling around right through here. The weekly chart is still the same. I haven't changed anything. The only thing I added was this purple line like we had last time, right? A subscriber who didn't like purple, I'm bringing it back, baby. We're still in this ascending wedge, right? This pattern. You know, we've broken down and we've broken out, right? I mean, we've captured both sides, but we're still in the channel, and this is a bearish channel, right? This is a bearish channel. We're looking for something like this, boom, something like this, boom, right? So that's, you know, that's what we're waiting on, and it's October 27th. That's kind of the date where you gotta make a decision. Okay, so you make a decision about October 27th. I was teasing about rejecting the 200. I mean, this looks like this 20-day EMA looks like it wants to cross above this 200, right? Pardon me. The last time it did that, what are you doing here? The last time it did that, we were pretty much done with the move to the upside. We were doing all this, all this, all this, and we crossed right there. We had a day left. We went up one day, and then we tanked. We went up for one more day. And what is today? Today is Monday. What days do we want to start bearish? We want Mondays to be bearish. We do. We want Mondays to be bearish. So then the rest of the week, so you build up your weekly candle to the downside, and then you finish bullish. All right, so we want this week to start bullish. All right, start bullish. Have this wick up through here. Start like this. All right, start freaking with your wick, and then slowly just boom, slam down. So this is not worst case scenario. I think would have been starting bearish, and then you just reverse and go bullish. So, right, so we're looking to close below 662. Maybe maybe today and tomorrow are green. Look at that, stopping right at that 56.93. You freaking bane of my existence. I cannot stand this chart. And you already know, right? If you're new to the channel, this chart is our enemy, right? We did get kind of like a double top, a lot of bearish divergence. Well, look at that. Look at that. You had to close at 673. You had to close at 698. Bearish divergence on the daily. I'm telling you. Hey, I'm telling you. A lot of people are super bearish right now in the markets. I'm not bearish. I'm not bearish until this chart breaks out on the weekly and we get above these levels right through here. If we come up here and we close above this and then back test the 200, yeah, I'm gonna be bearish because we back tested the 200 for support. When's the last time we freaking did something like that? I mean, you kind of did it over here. You kind of did it right here. And you moved up, right, through July. I mean, like you did it through here in February and March, right? You closed up, you stayed above it, boom, and you just, everyone remembers April. Everyone remembers April, right? I'll be bearish, trust me. When time comes, I'll be bearish. But right now, there's no reason to be bearish. So stablecoin dominance looks like that. Stablecoin dominance plus Bitcoin dominance. I mean, what date? 27th of October, right? Same kind of concept. Closed. I was like, okay, here we go. I got to redo this chart too. Nope, not yet. And then Bitcoin dominance. This one, right? You came up. On the weekly, you're still closing below here. This looks like it wants to make a decision by next week, right? And what I was saying in the Jasmine video is typically with the first breakdown of Bitcoin dominance is not altcoins. It is an altcoin. It's Ethereum, right? So you'll break down. Ethereum will run a little bit. Ethereum will correct, and then altcoins will run. And this is when altcoins start to run like that. Same concept right here. Like Ethereum was going crazy, kind of corrected, then altcoins had to run. Same concept, right? Same concept. Nothing changes, right? So we're looking for Ethereum to start running, and then we're like, okay, once this Ethereum starts to run, then we're looking good, right? So Ethereum still looks solid. Yeah, Ethereum looks good. You have the impulse. You're kind of correcting today. Maybe tomorrow you correct. Yeah. Ethereum looks good. If you want me to drop a video on Ethereum, hit that like button, subscribe for more, leave a comment. I'll drop a video on Ethereum, kind of give us some updates on that. Remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so, take these ideas with what you will, right? We're in a crazy market. I'm just trying to provide the best effort I can. So if you like today's video, again, hit that like button. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy. Peace.